In 2011, 6.4 million children ages 4 through 17 received an ADHD diagnosis, a 16% increase since 2007. About two-thirds of those with a diagnosis receive a prescription for stimulants like Ritalin or Adderall. The use of psychostimulants appears innocent enough. They are portrayed as a quick and easy solution to the problems associated with ADHD, such as poor performance in school or disruptive social behavior. But there are serious immediate side effects and long-term consequences to these drugs, particularly in children, teens, and young adults. So, why is any of this relevant?
Many college students are now abusing Adderall, buying and taking it illegally without a prescription to boost their GPAs.
When I'm on Adderall, I'm looking at the textbook and I forget about everything else around me.
It's given me the boost to, work nonstop for 10 hours a day.
The increasing prevalence of ADHD in recent decades has generated a public perception that a disorder is being grossly overdiagnosed and overmedicated by psychiatrists. This has sparked a controversial debate over the nature of ADHD. Is it a mental illness, a neurobiological imbalance, or a socially constructed disorder?
These kids taking Ritalin, taking all these drugs for ADD and ADHD, should they not be taking these drugs?
I don't think we should drug our children when we need to educate them, discipline them, love them, and raise them. Adults take medications if you're informed, but the growing brain should not be bathed in toxic substances. Ritalin stunts, all the stimulants stunt growth, cause obsessive behaviors, suppress the spontaneity of the child. Many of these children get very depressed on these drugs.
Dr. Bregan is clearly opposed to the use of stimulants to treat ADHD in children. He views the disorder primarily as a social construct that allows adults to escape responsibility for their children's misbehavior by drugging them into conformity with psychostimulants under the guise of a neurobiological imbalance. According to Bregan's discourse of ADHD, our society's distorted values are responsible for the growth of ADHD among children in the U.S. Therefore, rather than expose our children to psychotropic drugs, we need to re-empower human beings to take charge of their lives. It's easiest to see with children. If your child's out of control, your child needs discipline. You, the parent, need a parenting class. You may need some family counseling. Maybe read some good books on parenting. Out of control behavior in children, this is really a brilliant deduction, isn't it? Has to do with lack of discipline, and the most common cause is confused disciplinary principles in the family. Through my research, I have concluded that ADHD is a reality. Although many of its root causes appear to be of a social nature, it is not a made-up disorder. However, I found that categorizing it as a mental illness is also not entirely accurate. Rather, it is identified more appropriately as a neurobiological learning disorder. I retain the conviction that, although perhaps not overdiagnosed, ADHD is dangerously and improperly overmedicated.